We are.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Well,
Look
welcome.
like we've never been in front of a camera before, and this is all we do.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We've been doing this for a minute.
Hi.
Been doing this for
Maybe we are new at this.
maybe, or if this is your first time watching this, I guess this could
I
be
guess we would be new
the
to
way you'd
you.
be introduced to us. I'm Lee. This is Sherry. We have been doing this since 2011
11-ish.
ish, somewhere in there. Based on a laying in the bed, just kind of dreaming what we wanted to do with this connection we're in. So, kind of fast forward to today.
Yeah, and you guys know us like we're pretty resilient, right? We've been through some things, some pretty serious things. I mean, some life or death things recently, right? If you know us and you've watched us, then you know that, we went through liver disease and a subsequent liver transplant and then a house explosion and yeah,
Broken back.
yeah, it's a lot of it's been a lot of up and down, but you know what?
The one thing that's remained solid is the connection.
For sure.
So, we've created this, my wife created this beautiful program called Root Camp. And Root Camp was just a simple way to really understand why you get triggered or react or pay attention or you respond to things the way you do. And it's more about, just really getting that grasp or understanding what you were taught about connection. We know what kind of relationships, we're going to learn those, but you really get a good idea of who you are in relationships based on
Mhm.
what you learn in root camp. Through that, there was some experiences of learning uh, a lot of deep, a lot of very profound things I don't think we would have learned otherwise had we not done that.
We should have put ourselves through root camp.
We did, but ours was a lot
It was-
deeper the root camp than we've ever talked about here.
We
So,
kind of did, really.
um,
That's crazy.
so when all of these events took place, I started really noticing I had a lot more pain around me. And I realized I couldn't fight that pain. I had to pretty much immerse myself into it. So I stayed in my pain,
It's a
which
lot of videos and a lot of answered questions on our live, and a lot of videos where you hear Lee say, well, I stay in my pain. Well, that don't sound very fun. You're right.
no.
But when I kept hearing him say it over and over again, it just didn't feel right to me, right? I stay in my pain. Okay. I wanted to I wanted him to heal how he heals, how he needed to heal. Yeah.
And with that, I spent probably the last 8 or so years just staying in that pain, and it was for great purpose. Because the more I kept hearing the same repeated thing, the more I kept wondering why people were saying the same things, like almost identical. There were just a low level hum of people being completely disconnected from in their childhood. Well, we found each other through connection. So I started really investigating what was it that was disconnecting people, and it was pain, pain and hurt. But sometimes you don't even realize you're self-inflicting. And that's caused me to either interrupt you while you were talking or not want to hear it all the way through because you didn't even see the first part that you still abandoned yourself in. You didn't even see the first part where you had, and of course, all of this comes from
Well,
from doing it to myself.
yeah, we were having issues here with the same thing. And with, me being in Gemini, right? You don't let me finish a sentence. Right? But then, also feeling some frustration from a couple of few clients that said, you won't let me talk, so I don't know. Right? So many, 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 I guess, what were they called? Business meetings.
many. But then there's the moment where you have that meeting with yourself. And to this past year, I would say I've had a lot of those meetings. Um, and I got a lot of clarity from those meetings. And I would tell you this last past one was probably the deepest clarity that I've gotten. And it's more profound about what you have to surrender to when it comes to connection.
This one for real would have destroyed a relationship.
Yeah. So here's what happened. Friday, we got into
Um,
there's no
Intense fellowship.
okay, intense fellowship. And in the intense fellowship, I had decided that I didn't want to be here anymore. And I was really, really, really just the pain was just so great, but the pain was birthing. Just, just no other way to say it. Um, I left. And when I left, I stayed the night in my car and just was in this pit of anger and rage because what I feel inside is I don't want people to not know that they can have connection. I mean, it's just rooted so deep. But the issue with that was it was surrounding this part of me that had grown because of everything that we've been through. There was no real outlet for me other than to keep connecting to everybody's pain while we were going through this and her pain and still making my pain purposeful, but I wasn't making my pain something that I was actively healing like I needed to. I kept finding blocks. And what I mean by blocks, I kept finding like I couldn't remember certain things in my childhood. I couldn't access certain feelings or certain memories. I was a nightmare and I was a mess. And of course, in connection, if I'm disconnecting inside of here, it's going to show up out here. So we disconnected. And it
I don't think we disconnected. The connection
I was
was there.
able, well, I was able to disconnect inside of myself, which disconnected me from her,
Yeah, I
which
certainly
made it
didn't disconnect.
impossible for me to gravitate to her
Yeah.
to say, help, I'm in trouble, or to say anything, because this was the part of the awakening I was supposed to experience.
The physical aspect of it was being connected to him and not disconnecting, and just trying to find a calm in myself because when he left, he turned his location off. So I did not know where he was. And you know, of course my head got involved,
Hmm.
but I knew my head was getting involved and I would shut it down. Like, no, no, this is something. This is something. And I'm feeling it.
And I was pretty suicidal. Um, but I was suicidal from a standpoint that the all of that energy, all of that timeline, everything that I'd put into it was the caregiving, the just all of the masks that I was pretending to wear to get through where I was at, but those all those masks needed to disintegrate, and this was the way that they disintegrated. Um, I didn't, you guys, suicide is a very serious, serious, serious thing. But it's to me, there's a feeling on the inside of your body that you're having that if somebody would just hold you in, it would make all the difference, right? It would just turn something off that's trying to end you. And I couldn't find that. All weekend I struggled and I mean, I just cried all weekend. Um, and it was beautiful. Um, so I came back thinking, okay, I need to snap my shit out of this. And, come on now, this has gone too far. And I come back and feeling like, okay, we could try to just start from ground zero. I'm going to get through this. But the feeling really didn't release. It just didn't. And of course, later that day, another explosion happened.
Intense fellowship,
Another intense fellowship occurred, in which case,
extreme intense fellowship.
I jumped in my car after saying, I'm out. and I drove 499 miles away to where I was born with the intention of going directly to the hospital I was born in and getting in the parking lot and going away. And that actually happened the way I'm saying it. When I got to my hometown, which I had not been to since early 1970s, I everything disappeared. Like everything that all of the pain, everything that I had been doing this whole time went away. And I don't mean went away as much as it went into, well, I hadn't reconnected with connection, birth family. So in doing this, I opened up and unlocked my own childhood because I ran home to where the pain had home. And it wasn't a question whether I was there because I was crazy or lost my. Everybody I saw, family wise, opened their arms and held me, and they did not question. They didn't ask me what was going on. They just loved me and then just held my hand. And if I cried, they still held me. And if I, it just was like this whole experience of just being. And I didn't have any, the pain was really important because I fell in love with myself because of my pain. And I don't think we all realize that that's what's necessary when it comes to your pain. I've made some really misstep places getting here. Um, I didn't mean to hurt anybody or not let them finish, but everything has a crescendo and I've achieved mine. And I feel now it's just we. There's no I for me. It's just we. Because in connection, you don't really need any kind of rules or responsibilities. You could just get to have connection. And I get to come home now, and I was all over this woman, and I'm not going to stop. That's my focus, not healing all of this and doing all of that. And this is why we started this, and this is where I'm going to finish doing stuff like that. So my calmness is really back to where it was when we started because we're starting over.
We have simplified things. We've spent a couple days together, um, just being. Um, Obviously we wanted to jump right back into work. Do. We need to get a hold of it. But then I was like, yeah, yeah,
No, actually,
yeah, let's
come on now, you have to give it to me.
you did.
I
Yeah.
have not really walked near
No,
it at all.
yeah, but the questions and the ideas and the things were coming up and I was like, yeah, not right now. But
Yeah.
yeah, but it was hard at home. It was hard at home with me and Cameron here and with him gone and not knowing what was really going on and not knowing where he was and knowing the state he was in was this emotional state he was in was pretty painful and scary for both of us, me, Cameron and I both. Um, you know, you all know what I'm talking about with the sinking feeling in your chest, and that feels like an anvil laying right here. There's no such thing as eating or sleeping or doing anything other than really wonder what's going on or hoping it something comes, you know what I mean, through or a message, a text or something, right? And um it was it was pretty it was pretty desolate for a couple days, but you know, I have a son and I didn't want him to watch me like in such despair, right? And So a couple days I was in that despair. And then on Monday morning, I got up and I just started taking care of business. I started putting my makeup back on and doing my hair and getting ready and leaving the house and running errands and doing what I had to do. And talking to Spirit and sending a telepathic message to Lee and um really struggling, really struggling. Um, so when text messages started coming through, there was a great big sigh of relief. However, they were still angry and brutal, but that was okay with me. I would rather have angry Lee at that point than no Lee. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, Angrily wasn't, it was just the sum of sitting in a very deep space for so long and losing what I knew I still had in me, and then not realizing where I had to go to find it. Because for as long as Sherry and I have been together, and as long as we've been on this channel, Sherry's asked me about my childhood, and I didn't have hardly any memories. Now it's just coming out of me like nobody's business because you have more that you realize locked inside of your pain than you possibly can imagine.
Hmm.
Your ability to love is trapped in there when you ignore it, when you stuff it down, when you don't let anybody in. Your ability to be vulnerable is how you love. And now I'm nothing but complete vulnerability. And this is the space I needed to achieve to give her the love that I know that I'm capable of giving her.
This is why we've titled this video Out of Pain.
Mm.
Um, So you'll notice some differences. We've simplified the
Yes.
website. You will see that there are not so complicated and precise programming there. You can go and get what you need
Yep.
from us, and we are here and we are available. We set and fix the calendar, so that's done. And we are working on some other things as well. So um, that being said, we was only gonna do a short video, but we can't. It's just I mean we can, we just won't.
We can do this two parts. It doesn't have to
Yeah,
be,
we don't
or
have
we'll
to.
do it in three actually. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. We did when she says we've changed the calendar's
Hmm.
changed.
Yeah.
Root Camp is its own block. It's rolled all the way back to what we originally started with. It's
Mhm.
8 44-minute sessions. Um, Individual sessions are now available. You can either pick me or pick Sherry or pick us both. All of that is now just available on the website. So even if it's not Root Camp, even if you just need some coaching, you need some mentoring, you need some guidance. Here, if you need connection, sign up for one of the sessions.
Yeah.
The sessions will get you connection. It'll get you at least in a space where somebody's really going to pay attention to what you're going through
And listen,
and
and
listen
we're, you know,
and listen.
and listen. And that's a big thing.
Mm.
Um, you know, that's a really big thing. With Lee, you know, obviously on the other side where business is concerned, right? We've had some intense fellowship over why are you arguing? Like, why are you cutting people off? And it was rough, right? And it took this happening or this going to for him to realize that, yeah, I really want to hear what people are going through all the way. And then those points where he would want to stop you from talking, he'll keep. So when you're done telling your story, then he'll be able to hit on those points, right? You abandon yourself at that point. You abandon yourself at that point,
Yeah.
and and just to allow you to get through. And
If
it's
a,
a deeper space that we're in,
I'm
and
going to say this, if a man I'm going to say this, and I don't know if there's any men on the planet that can have said that they've done this, but I'm going to say this. I developed my feelings, which When have you ever heard a man say that? When has a man ever taken it in and said, you know what? I'm not going to go by the rules of what everybody else says. I'm going to find my own path. And in my path, in this connection to her, there's a feeling between us that I wanted to be so engulfed in and so deeply tied to.
Do you see what's happening out here?
Yeah.
You guys can't see this, but
There's hundreds of birds,
hundreds,
hundreds just
hundreds.
flying over the top of our house.
Yeah, yeah.
Strange. And
Hundreds.
the
And look,
sun is out and, you know,
MJ's like, ooh, birds.
so thank you guys for taking the time with us today. Again, this is the reboot. This is who we're gonna be. We do this for a living. So if you're looking to heal and you need the way to heal, we're available. We're open. The calendar's open. There are individual sessions. It's very simplified now. There's not going to be any challenging sessions. There's just going to be sessions of awakening. And if that's what you're looking for, welcome to Lee and Sherry, our connection nest.
I'm really proud of you. I really am.
I'm proud of me too. Thank you. And thank you all for watching. We'll see you guys soon. Oh, we're gonna come back to how we used to the fun stuff. We're gonna do some funny videos because we miss doing that kind of stuff, and it's much more entertaining for us.
Yeah.
We'd like to teach and have fun, and that I think
Our
that's
home
what
is a circus, and that's
it
just the
is.
truth.
It is.
And
We have a beautiful
my
home.
mind,
We have
beautiful home of
beautiful animals.
wild animals around here.
But if you need connection, you want to explore connection and don't know how, we can guide you and help you with that in any way. So
Yep.
know that you've got us here, and we'll be here helping you guys stay connected because that's what we're here to do.
Yes.
See you guys
Thanks
soon.
for watching.